Here we are. We have got a right full house tonight, haven't we? Already, Bobby Calloway's just joined from Ireland. All right, Bobby. So I said hello to Renee, Bobby, Darren. Great to see you here, mate. Lindsay, Stephen, Matt, Caroline, Wendy, Lee, Steve, Wendy again, Gary. All these people who are joining on Twitter. Thank you for being here. Oh my goodness me, I've had one of such a crazy day. I'll share with you what I've been doing today because this has been interesting because sometimes me juggling all the things that I do, like lots of different kind of things. So I've got Acts on This. Right now, we're doing Acts on This broadcast. If you're not aware of Acts on This and you're joining for the first time or you're listening on the audio experience for the first time, actsonthis.tv is the main website that I run for actors. It's basically a site where I put hundreds of hours worth of interviews on with the biggest actors, casting directors, writers, producers, in the industry. If you want to really learn from the horse's mouth, right? This isn't some sort of bullshit theory. If you want to learn how to have success as an actor, go get a membership at actsonthis.tv. Hear it from the horse's mouth of people who are having success or people ultimately who can give you a job. But today, I've had so many things on. So Uno's Julie Hesmondhalgh, an incredible actress, played Hayley in Coronation Street for 16 years. Then went on to get work in Russell T Davies's Banana and Cucumber. Then she did Happy Valley. Then she did Broadchurch. Now she's in Doctor Who. Incredible actress who... Against a lot of odds, leaving a soap that she was so established in to get work. Had her around my apartment today to record a podcast. We got her on the vlog as well. I'll show you a clip of last week's vlog that just went out today. I had a self-tape to do today that I've just done. I had this live broadcast to do today. I've got Bulletproof Actor Video 3 for the pre-launch of Bulletproof Actor. If you don't know what Bulletproof Actor is, I'm going to tell you about that in a minute as well. I've got an audition tomorrow, and I've got a live broadcast with the last group of Bulletproof Actors tomorrow night as well. So normally, Leah, good evening. All right, normally I'm super overwhelmed. I don't know. I can feel when I think about all of these things at once, super overwhelmed. Where I'm we feel overwhelmed as people when we have a load of things to do and we feel we have to do them all at once. And that is not the case. You never have to do all of these things at once. It's where you've really got to prioritise. And what I've learned today, I said to Petch, the cameraman this morning, you all know Petch from the vlog, I said, Petch, we're going to have to just rack and stack these tasks for the day and not think about the ones we're doing afterwards. You have to take them one at a time. And I literally finished that self-tape at about 20 to 9. Petch drove me back here, and now I'm on doing this. And it feels so good to have all those things done. It's just been a super productive day. But the moral of the story is if you are feeling overwhelmed because you're shit, I've got this to do, that to do, that to do, that to do, and you're just running your life. I mean, life in general gets in the way sometimes. Just take them one at a time. Prioritise. And just go, right. And if there's no priority in terms of there's none that are more important than the other, they're all important, just take them as they come. Seriously, line them up, smack them out of the park, and then move on to the next one. Don't think about the next one whilst you're doing the first one because it's going to fuck you up. You will get overwhelmed. Just stay calm and carry on. Wendy says, I think we had more than you this week at the London meetup, Ross. Did you, Wendy? We had about 15 at the Manchester meetup. If you're an actor and you're a member of Acts on This, so it doesn't matter, you don't have to be a member at all of actsonthis.tv, but we do monthly meetups. It's a really supportive network of actors where you can just pop along, have some coffee, have some cake. If you're in London, I do the Manchester one. It's on the first Saturday of every month, same in London. I do it at Home Theatre in Manchester. Wendy and Melanie head up the London one at Benuga Bar, BFI, South Bank. If you go to the London one, Wendy brings her own cookies. That's something I can't bring to the party. Leah's here. Leah comes to the Manchester one. Leah, can you bake? Can you bring some cookies to the next one to rival Wendy? Wendy's cookies are incredible. It's going to be the Christmas meet-up as well on the first Saturday of December. In Manchester, we go to the Christmas market. So if you're around, if you listen to this on the audio experience on iTunes and you're around and you've never been to a meet-up before, I want to meet you. Please, I want to say thank you for getting involved with the community. Please come and get involved. So today, what this is, I realised we didn't do an open mic Q&A for October. So busy in October, I didn't do one. So tonight we're going to do the November's open mic Q&A. So ultimately, this broadcast, Carly Houston, good evening on Twitter. This broadcast is like an anything goes kind of broadcast where if you've got questions about your acting career, I'm quite knowledgeable on voiceover as well. Do a lot of voiceovers. I had a voiceover today. That was another thing that I had to do to throw into the mix at 5:30. Voiceover. If you want to know about social media, branding, marketing, approaching casting areas is ultimately anything that I talk about on Acts on This, but you want to apply it personally to your acting career. Ask questions, ask whatever you want. And as a collective, not just me, there's quite a lot of people on this broadcast right now. We can all chip in and give you advice on what it is you need help with. There are no stupid questions in life, bar the questions you do not ask. So, like, freaking ask, okay? Corey, good evening. Corey's here as well. To see Leah as well. Leah. I'm seeing. Oh yeah. Oh, of course, Leah. I've already said Leah. I thought there was another Leah. Leah's here. And when he said she had a lemon cupcake, yeah, we need to definitely up our game when it comes to the Manchester meetup and cookies. Leah says, sorry, I don't think I can compete with Wendy's cookies. Well, Leah, it's not good enough. Get a recipe book out, please. Get practicing, and let's compete. I'm going to play you a clip of the vlog that I put out this morning. If you're not familiar with my vlog, go to youtube.com/Watch Ross. I put episode 45 out this morning, and it's an interview, behind the scenes of an interview, a full podcast that I did with an incredible, he's been in the game 40 years, an incredible director. He's directed so many great TV shows, but he primarily works in, or has worked in, serial drama. So we're talking things like EastEnders, Coronation Street, Holby, Casualty, The Bill. Remember when The Bill was on? What a great show. If The Bill was on today, because I only ever play coppers, I swear to God, I reckon I could probably get a regular in The Bill. It's not on, unfortunately, anymore, so I can't. But we had Nick Phillips. Yeah, his name's Nick Phillips. I had him around my apartment. We recorded a 90-minute, such an inspirational chat, an inspirational podcast. I'm going to play you 1 minute of the vlog. So what I do on the vlog on youtube.com/Watch Ross is I basically document us recording the podcast on actsonthis.tv. So you always get a snippet of the podcast on the vlog. But if you want to listen to the full thing, which I recommend you absolutely do, you need to go and get a membership at actsonthis.tv. It's only £10 a month. It's a force for good. A lot of the money gets donated to charity. But here's like 60 seconds of Nick. He doesn't hold back, Check this out.
There is no point in bullshitting. You're there to fulfill the expectations of millions of people if you get the part. Therefore, you need to be straightforward and honest with yourself about what you can do.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 45 of Watch Ross, the one where we kidnap a Coronation Street director and ask him how we can get a job on the cobbles. We've got him, the man himself. He's here. Nick, are you excited about this or what?
I'm certainly pleased to be here.
You develop a thick skin.
Yep.
If you're going to be an actor, you need to be resilient to being kicked, knocked back, rejected.
If you were an actor, starting out right now, and you're like, I need this first credit, what would you do to get this one, to be that paramedic, to be that copper, be the nurse, or whatever it is, just to get something on your CV? There you go, youtube.com/Watch Ross. If you want to hear the answer, Nick's answer to that question that I ask at the end. It's very in-depth. The whole podcast is, and we went not just into like success in the industry, but like success in life. Nick, you wouldn't see it there. He's in his 70s. He's been directing for longer than I have been alive. He's been doing nearly 40 years of directing. But we just had a super honest, open chat. youtube.com/Watch Ross to watch the rest of that vlog where you'll hear a bit more of that chat. But if you want to hear the answer specifically to that question that I ask at the end about getting your first line on serial drama, being that copper, being that paramedic, being that nurse, or whatever it is, to just establish yourself, get yourself a credit, so that you've got some professional work under your belt, you've got stuff for your showreel, and you've got an IMDb credit. Please go and listen to the rest of that. Nearly 90 minutes. But he's got so much to offer. And then today I recorded this podcast with Julie Hesmondhalgh, who you would see from the outside as like having it all, having an incredible career. She spent 16 years as Hayley in Coronation Street. Some of the struggle that woman went through after leaving Corrie, incredible. And she's never talked about it before. But I imagine how many people in here probably see Hayley and are like, Hayley, see Julie having played Hayley. And you're probably like, oh yeah, she just went from that to that, and it all seems dead straightforward. It isn't at all. It wasn't at all. It still isn't. But, Julie's told a really interesting, vulnerable story about when she left Corrie. And how she was like, there was changes going on at her agency, her agent who she was with, and how she wasn't really kind of happy with that, and she started looking around for other agents, and not a single agent in the industry wanted anything to do with her. And I know there's people in here now, and you're freaking struggling with agents, but don't think that it ever kind of like necessarily gets easier. When you've had a load of success, there's still a fight there. And the moral of it all was ultimately she just didn't give up. And she took a massive risk. She went from being very comfortable, getting paid a lot of money, being one of the most iconic characters on screen, to literally coming to terms with the fact of going, I'm leaving this and I am happy if she said, I just want to be a jobbing actor. She would have been happy creating her own theatre and doing her own theatre stuff. As it turns out, she's gone on to have an incredible TV career. But I'm going to be putting that podcast out next week or maybe the week after on actsonthis.tv. And again, that'll be a vlog episode as well. A couple of other things I'm going to talk about, and then I just want all your questions. Bulletproof Actor. I mentioned it at the start of this little broadcast. Bulletproof Actor is a mindset coaching program, science-backed positive psychology mindset coaching program that I created nearly 3 years ago specifically for actors. Ultimately, it's the science of success. It's the study of 10 years in positive psychology that I've applied to my own life, my own career. It took me out of working for minimum wage in a toy shop. Ultimately, it's having a decent acting career, voiceover career, online business, and doing this. And it's changed the lives of over 200 actors who've taken it over the last couple of years. I'm going to go over because I'm going to go to bulletproofactor.com and just show you guys behind the scenes of something I'm giving away for free. A lot of you on here have either been through the full program or you've seen some of these videos. But before I open registration to the full Bulletproof Actor program, I always give away some free training to show you guys that it's not bullshit, that it really does work. And I'm currently giving away 3 videos over on bulletproofactor.com until next Thursday. Well, Wednesday night, actually. These videos will go away next Wednesday. Please claim them to get access to them before then, because if you don't, they won't be available again for another year. If you go to bulletproofactor.com, put your email and your name in, you'll get access to these 3 videos. Video 1 is here, this red one. Video 2 is this white one. That's available now. Video 3 comes out tomorrow morning. And then I open registration for the full program, Bulletproof Actor. It's called Unstoppable Confidence, Infinite Success, on the 8th of November. You'll have a look down here, over 71 comments of people. Over 900 people have actually been through these videos in the last week. They're super powerful. I mean, I'm not just saying this isn't some marketing bullshit. I'll just read, a couple of the comments here. Thanks for the videos, Ross. Just playing catch up. One of them, she said, so I've only seen video 1 at the moment. That's when she's only seen video 1. But she's talking about this is a girl called Kelly. She's left a message here talking all about limiting beliefs. The videos take you through a process of ultimately identifying what your limiting beliefs are right now. We all have limiting beliefs. I know, even though I know all this shit, I know that I come across limiting beliefs in my own career and life all the time. And limiting beliefs ultimately are formed through past experiences that we've had that are probably negative. And a lot of these limiting beliefs of ours are forced upon us by other people. There are other people making remarks, commenting on us, judging us, and yet our subconscious honours these limiting beliefs, and they can screw us up for a lifetime if you're not careful. The 3 videos I give away for free in this series help you identify those limiting beliefs, why ultimately you are not hitting the next level, why you are not already more than you are, what is holding you back from your next level as an actor and a human being as well. In video 2, so that's video 1. In video 2, I help you break down those limiting beliefs with a science-backed exercise. You'll see people on here. Kelly says, video 2, so now I've got a bunch of legless tables. You won't understand what that means unless you've seen video 2. It basically uses an analogy of a table and the legs to support the table as your beliefs and the ideas that support your beliefs. It helps you rip those legs off them effectively. But it's massively powerful. Olivia says here, Ross, I absolutely love this video. Everything you're saying rings true with me, and it's so wonderful to know I'm not alone with my limiting beliefs. I'm a huge believer in the power of positivity and that with the right mindset you can achieve your goals. I completely agree with her. You are not where you could be because of your mindset. I swear to God, it's not your talent. You've already got enough talent. It's not your background. It's not how much money you've got. This is all bullshit, limiting beliefs around what you can and can't achieve. Your head just isn't right. Meg says here, good morning. Wowza, Ross. I finished watching video 2 this morning on the way to work. Bloody fab. I mean, just go and read the comments for yourself. There's 270 of them. All positive. Not a single one's gone, Ross, this is shit. But go bulletproofactor.com right now if you want to collect those videos, or you can do it after this broadcast. Doesn't matter. But please get them before Wednesday next week, because then they will go down. And I'm brutal with this because I have to be, because the reason I take them down is to force you to take action. Okay, it's what life is all about. It's what your results are all based on. If you ain't taking the action to get the results you want, you're going to fail. So I put a deadline and a limit on these videos because it just forces people, gives them a kick up the arse. to take the action that's required to get the results that you want. And you'll learn something in video 3 called the success cycle, which breaks all that down for you. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. I've done all the housekeeping. I've shown you the vlog. I've shown you Bulletproof Actor. I've talked about what's coming up on actonthis.tv. Go get your membership. Now it's over to you. What do you want to talk about? If you've got any questions at all, you're struggling with shit, whatever it is, please write a comment now. Let me know in the comments. Quite a lot of you guys are watching on Facebook right now. Give me some comments. Gary says, Ross, we should get the bill back. Like Russell T Davies got Doctor Who back. Yeah, we should. We should get. You know what? I swear to God, Gary, if the bill was back, I'd have a job. I would absolutely have an acting gig, a regular one on the bill. It's all I ever seem to get employed as is coppers. Bring back Brookside as well, says Caroline. Nick directed Brookside. You know Nick, who I had on the podcast I talked about a minute ago? Nick Phillips. He directed Brookside in 1982, the year I was born, Caroline. He's been around a bit, but he's an awesome guy. And A says Wendy's cookies on Saturday were ridiculously good as always. I think we may poach the Manchester crowd for our baking excellence. Never an A. If you listen on the audio experience, like I say, you've not been to a Manchester meetup and you're in the north, come and support me. We need a proper face-off, don't we? We need a proper bake-off. I'm not going to be the one who's baking, though. We need who's going to be... Steve, can you bake? Steve always comes to the Manchester meetups. I think he'd put something in the cakes, though, knowing Steve, if he bakes, and it wouldn't be legal. The bill was quality, he says. The bill was good. So what's going on in your lives, then? Talk to me. What you're, like, working on? What do you maybe need help with? I've talked a lot about self-tapes with people recently, you know. More and more people, talking to Julie about it today, more and more people are getting asked for self-tapes over anything else when it comes to initial auditions. They seem to be really common now for the first round. If you've got any questions about self-tapes, I do a lot of those with people. You want to know how to improve your audio, improve your video, let me know. But whatever you want, honestly, whatever you want. We've basically got a good half an hour to chew the fat about anything. If you're on Twitter and you want to ask a question and so I don't miss it, maybe come over to Facebook, facebook.com/actonthisTV, facebook.com/groups/actonthisTV if you want to join the group as well. And Steve said he'd only put something in my cake. Thank you, Stephen. So yeah, over to you. The floors are open. Sharon's in the house. All right, Sharon, my problem is getting paid roles. Can find loads of unpaid, just not getting the paid ones despite applying on Star Now and Mandy, plus agent putting me forward for roles on Spotlight. Right, so what do you reckon we can do for Sharon then? So I've got a few ideas. Other people chip in, right? Who else is in this situation where you feel you've collected the set? So Sharon, I guess you've got headshot, you've got a showreel, you're on Spotlight, you've got an agent, and yet you're still not getting paid work, because we cover this again in the podcast with Nick. And in the vlog as well. And Petch actually put this question to Nick. He said, listen, Nick, you talk about developing a thick skin as an actor, and you need a thick skin because it's full of rejection. How do you develop a thick skin if you're not even getting any auditions to get that rejection? You're not getting any opportunity for work. And Nick's answer was pretty brutal, but it was honest. And I agree with it in a way, because I take full accountability for when I'm not working myself as well. It's entirely my fault. It's not my agent's fault. It's no one else's fault, Sharon, but mine. And to be brutal, Nick said, listen, if you're not getting the results you want, you aren't working hard enough. And I know you can say, listen, I'm taking loads of action. I'm applying on Spotlight. I'm applying on Mandy. I'm applying on this. But you're probably not taking enough specific action. In terms of, it's not just about the amount of action, carpet bombing everybody, it's taking specific action. Sometimes that means breaking down exactly who you are as an actor, exactly which roles you see yourself in, and it's specifically going after those and the specific casting directors who cast roles like that. So what roles do you see yourself in, Sharon? What do you want to play initially? And then we can go, right, these are the casting directors who are casting shows like these, and these are the people who you need to be specifically reaching out to with compelling correspondence, a well-constructed email, a really decent headshot that looks like you, that that is professional, that's really really good, looks compelling, eye-catching. Maybe the first scene you open on your showreel with isn't the one you should open with. And people fall into this trap of wanting to open with the first scene on their showreel that's the most dramatic, that's got the most famous person in it, or all kinds of things like this. And it's actually like not that famous person's showreel, it's your showreel. Maybe you're not showing the true side of who you are as a person in the showreel. A lot of people do that. Oh, what's happened here? My Facebook has just completely reset. Apologies if it just went off on Facebook, but it's back on Facebook. So yeah, Sharon, we need to get specific about why this isn't working for you, and also how you can apply for more paid work. Certainly a merit in doing unpaid work if it's going to be positive for your career and it's with decent people and it's going to get you exposure. Spoke to Mark's here, spoke to him a lot about this in the past, and other people in here about choosing decent free work to do. I've earned a lot of money by doing free work initially that's gone on to actually either get commissioned or maybe an ad agency has been doing a potential advert for people and they're like, listen, we're doing a pitch, will you be in the pitch? And then if we get the job, you'll get the job. And I've done that for them before. So you can, there's definitely merit in doing free work. So Sharon says, okay, I get that. I know my casting type, generally playing teachers, mums, detectives. I mean, that's broad, teachers, mums and detectives. I love a good drama. Just filmed a new scene with Chris Stone. Right, so if you've done a scene with Chris Stone, Mark just did it. I've not seen it, Sharon, but I want to see you scene. Mark just did an incredible scene with Chris Stone where he plays a copper. It's a detective thing. Chris does detective stuff and things like that very, very well. What I would do is I would look at the rest of your show reel, because you know what? Sometimes one scene that's done beautifully is worth 5 scenes, or ultimately the 4 scenes that come after the beautiful scene can detract from the power of and the impact of that first scene. So maybe you want to go, right, is this one scene that's showing me in something that's shot incredibly well, high production value, well written, and I'm good in, is that worth more than my current showreel that I've been sending out and you just told me you ain't getting any paid work? You've got to try that out. I would start by going, actually, you know what, I'm just going to send this one scene out because it's a brilliant opportunity for you to reach out to casting directors with something relevant. So you're not saying, hey, just me again, I'm Sharon and I'm here. Everything's exactly the same as it was 3 months ago when I reached out to you. You're saying, hey, people who are casting, the stuff that you've just said there. So, teachers, Ackley Bridge right now. David Martin is casting Ackley Bridge. I've seen him put stuff out on Twitter. Beverly Keogh casting. Shitloads of teachers in it. It's set in the north, Sharon. It's freaking perfect for you. I'd be reaching out. I'd Google David Martin, or I'd run his website, so I can tell you it's davidmartincasting.com. And I've put his email address on the contact page. Go to the contact page. Hey, David, I'm aware from Twitter that you're casting Ackley Bridge right now. My casting type has always been teachers. Here's a brand new showreel scene that I've just shot. Would love to be seeing if you think there's anything suitable. Done. Job done. But that specific, measurable action that is like so much better than you just carpet bombing everybody on Mandy. So do that, Sharon. That applies to everybody. Figure out what you are. And you know what? Sometimes it's hard to go, oh, it's all right, Ross, you know what's being cast. Well, yeah, but it's not because everyone's telling me. It's because I'm working hard enough to go out there and find stuff. I'm spending time on social media. I'm following all the right casting directors. If you don't know who to follow on Twitter, go to actonthis.tv/P. It's very important that you put a /P/Twitter. And that's it. And I will then put your email address and your name, and I will instantly send you via email. It takes 5 to 10 minutes for an email to come through because for some reason it's being slow, my email provider. But you'll get a link to the 33 casting directors on TV I think you should be following on Twitter. And just keep an eye on all of that. Create a list on Twitter of those people. You can create something on Twitter called lists, guys, right? If you know this. And it means you can then add all the people who are relevant. Casting directors is one list. And then when you click on that, all you see in your timeline are tweets from those casting directors. It's not mixed up with the other 3,000 people you're following on Twitter. Because a lot of people in here are dead friendly and they follow every actor under the sun because they want to give back to that actor. Like, I'm going to follow everyone and support everyone. All you're doing there is adding a load of noise to your timeline on Twitter that you will never, ever be able to see through. So you can do that, but create a list on Twitter as well. If you don't know how to do it, Google how do you create lists on Twitter. Create a list of casting directors, and then when you click on your list, you will only see the tweets from casting directors for as long as you want to just see those, and then you can click back onto your full Twitter feed if you want. But it means within 5 minutes, you can very quickly figure out what's going on in the industry, like really quickly. And some stuff on there will have nothing to do with the acting industry, but it just means you get to know the personality of the casting directors, what they like. Maybe they're asking for something and you know somebody who's suitable for that part. You can put them in touch with that person. That will win you brownie points. That's great, help other people out. But you've got to take specific action, Sharon. I would do that. Oh, so you said you only filmed it on Friday. You were a mum, friend was a detective. Doesn't matter. If if you still come across that, the people can still see a warmth there. Teachers are warm. And how many times did you call your teacher mum at school? Very embarrassing. How many times do you do that? You put your hand up, you go, Mom. You go, oh shit. No, we didn't say oh shit because you're only 11. But yeah, they have a similar quality, Sharon. You can say, listen, I always get, my casting type is teacher. I often play a lot of them. But right now, I've just shot this scene. Maybe it's got a similar tone to it. Maybe you want to check it out. Put yourself out there. Just it's what you've got to do to stay relevant. I'm going to go back because there's quite a lot of other questions. Darren says, is an email the best way to first approach a casting director? 100%, Darren. Yes. Again, if you claim that Twitter list, I actually put underneath the casting director's Twitter feed, or Twitter little button so you can follow them very easily. I put a link to their casting directors guild profile. On the casting directors guild profile, you will find their email addresses. Don't spam them, but you will find their email addresses there. Send them relevant content that's going to be valuable, not bore them and be dead lengthy. Your emails don't need to be long. They can literally be, hey, Dave. I don't know anyone called Dave, but hey, not had the pleasure of meeting you yet. My name's Darren. I'm a ex-aged actor, whatever age you are, Darren, from wherever you are. Not had the pleasure of meeting you yet. Seen on your Twitter you're currently casting such and such a thing. Just wanted to reach out and send you this new scene. Currently after whatever it is you're after. My first TV credit, a guest role, something a bit meaty than I've had before. Whatever. Would be so grateful if you kept me in mind. I mean, it's just simple, honestly, but people are shit scared of reaching out for saying the wrong thing. You can't say the wrong thing unless you're an absolute idiot. People are just human. Rebecca Lindley in the house. All right, Becca, I have an agent, but I feel like I'm not being seen anymore. Do you have any advice on how I get myself out there? Do you know what, Rebecca? My best piece of advice for how you get yourself out there is you stop caring more about what other people think of you than you think of yourself. So many people are so afraid to put themselves out there on Twitter, to reach out to people, to put themselves out on Instagram, Facebook, create shorts, write something, film it themselves, for fear of judgment. And therefore, they never do anything. And they wait for their agent. Maybe you have just been sat around waiting for your agent to do everything for you. And I promise you, it does not work. Steve Goodwaney, I want to say thank you to you. This reminds me, This is great, right? I will pay you back for this, Steve, when I can, and I'll remember. I don't know when it'll be. It could be next week, or it could be a year from now. But I will remember this. You tagged me in a post on Twitter when a casting director was looking for vloggers in Manchester. The self-tape that I have just done was because that casting director reached out to me on Sunday and said, Ross, I would love to see you for this thing. And it's an online thing. It's for a really big company. I don't know how much money it's going to be worth or what. But I'm pretty certain I can get that role based on what I do ultimately for a living. Not just acting, but I do a lot of vlogging, and he's looking for vloggers. And that's awesome, man. So I would never have seen that. But because I'm putting myself out there and my vlog's out there all the time, Rebecca, Steve saw that, and then he was able to go, oh, wait a minute, this casting is looking for a vlogger. Ross is putting himself out there a lot as a vlogger. I'm going to tag him in this, and it's led to an opportunity. And I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I'm certainly going tomorrow. I've done the sales tape, and I'm going to go tomorrow to get this role. I'm not going to not, in my head, I'm not going to feel I'm not going to get it. I'm going to get defeated. I've given it my best shot. I've given it everything. If I don't get it, I know it's not because of something I've done. But you've got to put yourself out there. Ultimately, create your own content. I was talking to Julie Hesmanhouse today, and I said, Julie, how did you get your initial role in Coronation Street? She said, Ross, I formed a theatre company. And me and all my friends who had nothing, they were living in pretty much abject poverty at the time, as a lot of actors are, we created our own content. We were constantly putting on shows, inviting casting directors to those. That's how she got her agent at the time, who she's still with today, Lou Coulson. She's still with her today. It must be like, God, I don't know, 25 years later. But she's smashing it. She's working on the biggest TV in the UK. She's in Doctor Who. But that's because she didn't rely on just an agent, Rebecca, and she put herself out there. So this is easier to do with other people who are in the same situation as you. Get other people together who have got skills. Steve on here and Andy, Connor, I know who's a member of Acts on this and stuff. They've just created a web series called Rebound that Andy's got banned from many Facebook groups for posting many, many times recently. But can't blame the guy for freaking putting himself out there. You know, he's trying to put himself out there so much. Facebook's actually banned him recently from posting in groups. So you don't want to put yourself out there too much. But you've got to create content of your own, whack it out there, and it will pay dividends. But the reason people don't do that more than anything is because they value other people's opinions of them more than they value their opinion of themselves. And that's like kryptonite for so many. And that's why so many people will always be average, because they're too worried about what other people think of them. You've got to put that to bed. So that would be my advice. Get together with people, create your own content, make some noise, and just make it so that other people cannot ignore you for the right reasons. You know, put quality out there. Sharon says, yeah, thanks, because I wasn't sure whether to just scrap the showreel for Chris's scene. Oh, yeah, Ackley Bridge. I can see you in Ackley Bridge, so Ackley Bridge would be great. I can see you in it, Sharon. It's right up your street. Maybe, you wouldn't have thought that. You would have thought, oh, I'm not, why would they want me in Ackley Bridge? Why wouldn't they want you in Ackley Bridge? So, yeah, do it. And anyone on here of ethnicity as well. I saw Beverly Keogh casting David Martin putting stuff out, looking for particularly young people to play regulars for the new intake of kids in Ackley Bridge. So if you're of ethnicity and you've got kids, whack them forward. Seriously, it's they're crying out for people for Ackley Bridge at the moment. Chris said it will be ready within 2 weeks. Awesome, Sharon. So that's fine. Don't know how long it's still going to be casting for, but get it done. I know Chris is very busy, but he'll edit it and it'll look beautiful. It'll be well worth the wait. And Sharon says she's followed all the people who were on that list. So yeah, get that list. atsonthis.tv/P. Don't forget that. It won't work otherwise. /P/Twitter. Darren, a young 52, mate, so much time. Do you know what? This is the thing as well. On those videos, Bulletproof Actor, that I put out, those free videos for now, don't forget to get those, bulletproofactor.com. One of the main limiting beliefs of people is age. So many people on there feel they are too late to the party because they are in their 50s, their 60s, or even their 70s. You still have so much time on the clock. Darren, you could literally live another 52 years if you play your cards right, mate. The longer you can stay in this game, not only do you acquire more life experience, so you become a better actor because more shit happens to you, good and bad, but more people drop out. So the older you get, if you can hang in the game, you've got way less competition. Do you know how much competition there is for me at 36? Shitloads. At 26, shitloads. At 56, not so much. So hang in there, dude. But yeah, you've got to realise you are so young. I wish I knew, and I know 36 isn't old, but I wish I knew at 21 how young 36 felt, because I honestly felt at 21 that 40 it was game over. I'm more hungry now at 36 than I was at 26. So yeah, don't ever take notice of your age. It will screw you up. It's just a number. It's completely man-made. It doesn't mean anything. And the longer you can stay in the game, the less competition you've got. Steve says, more than welcome, bud. Best of luck. Honestly, Steve, really appreciate it, mate. You tagging me in that. Honestly, thank you so much. William Mitchell. All right, Will. Hope you're well, mate. Got 3 smiley faces on there. Good to see. Darren says, I signed up with LA Management based in Croydon. I've only heard from them once in about 3 years doing the full-time day job. Must try harder. Yeah, man. I mean, that's, thanks for your honesty. That is, if you ain't hearing from your agent in 2 years, mate, that's dead, innit? It's game over. Either you reach out to them and you have a conversation with them that maybe you don't want to have, which is, listen, what can we do for me to be seen more? A lot of people struggle with this. When they're not being seen by their agents, they go very insular and they just want to ignore it and hope it gets better. It's a bit like being in a bad relationship and just ignoring it and hoping it'll get better. It'll never get better unless you have a conversation. And sometimes people fear the conversations that they know are going to be awkward in the short term, and they don't do them. But actually in the long term, it's so much better. So sometimes you've got to go through the burn of an awkward conversation to realise that actually, you know what, down the line, God, I'm so glad I had that conversation. Cards out on the table, everyone can see them. This is how I feel. Can we do anything? If not, is it a lost cause? I'm going to move forward and get new representation. So yeah, Darren, that's about the work, man. You've got to face it. Take a little bit of time after your day job. You work your 9 till 5. What are you doing with your 5 till 9 in the evening? Work, man. Compose some emails, or compose an email to your initial agent, initially. The LA production, LA management that you're with, and send it, schedule it for like 9 o'clock the next morning, or get on the blower on your lunch hour on your 9 till 5, whatever it is. Have a chat with them, see if you can go in and have a coffee with them, figure it out. If not, use your 5 till 9 after work to write emails to other agents and pique their interest with a showreel, or shoot a showreel in 5 till 9. Sharon says, there's 2 groups of us in Leeds getting together to create a soap based in Leeds. Brilliant. Awesome. Rock and roll. See if you can rival Emmerdale, the other lead soap. Beck says, thanks so much for your advice. Ready to get loud. Get loud, Rebecca. Honestly, you've got to be loud in a non-threatening, non-annoying way. But just, as I say, just value your opinion in yourself. If you know you are putting out good into the world and your intention is pure and you're not out to, to upset anyone, because you wouldn't be. It'd be pointless. No one is. Don't be afraid of putting yourself out there, putting work out there. Even when I know people who have gone through processes where they've created pieces of work and they still haven't put them out, and they created them 18 months ago because they are still shit scared that someone somewhere won't like it. So what? You will never please everybody. By trying to, in fact, you won't please anybody. So yeah, get loud, get proud, Rebecca. Darren, sounds like it's time to get a new agent, says Sharon. As for age, it's a number, and totally agree with Ross. I've only been acting for 3 years, when I was 47. Honestly, Bulletproof Actor Video 2, the free ones, I talk all about age, and I give examples of very famous people who came to the party very, very late. I think Morgan Freeman was 51, 52 when he started and actually got his first major role. So yeah, don't be put off by age. Olivia is in the house. All right, Olivia Murphy. Notice you have watched Bulletproof Actor Video 1 and 2. Video 3 is out in the morning at 10 a.m. So after this, if you haven't watched Video 1 and 2, go watch them, because then you'll understand Video 3. Don't just watch Video 3 tomorrow. You won't get it. You need to go through the process. It's science-backed and it's very specific. So please go through the process. And those who are listening on the audio experience, you only have until the 7th of November. It's the 5th as I record this. I'm probably going to put the replay up on the 6th, or maybe even on the 7th. If you listen on the 7th, you've got till midnight to claim the free videos. Bulletproofactor.com. Go check it out. So any more? What else have we got? We're putting the world to rights tonight, aren't we? This is good. What else have you got for me? Any other questions? Melissa Pope, how you doing? Hope you're well. Olivia says yes, loving it. Everyone watch if you haven't yet. She says, honestly, like seriously, it is freaking powerful. The material I teach in those 3 videos for free is literally the basis of the stuff that changed my entire life. So if you don't know my story, 11 years ago I was working for minimum wage in a toy shop. I graduated from an incredible drama school, but I had no clue how I was going to work. I was doing everything wrong. I was full of limiting beliefs. I was doing what every other actor is doing, which is temp jobbing in a shit job that they hate, expecting something to happen in the job that they love. Never going to happen. Promise you, if you're putting full-time hours into the thing you don't like, as brutal as this sounds, you've got to find a way out, because the thing that you want to do, act, or whatever it is you want to do creatively, will never happen whilst you are putting 40 hours a week into something that actually you don't want to do. And I realised it took a big incident in my life it took my dad dying, boom, overnight, for me to actually go, holy shit, what am I doing with my life? I don't want that to be the catalyst for other people here. I'm just telling you need to believe me from experience that if you do not change, things in your life will not change. But you have to get through the fear of change initially, then the fear of process, of actually going through the process of getting out of that job and finding something else that's going to support you. And then you've got the fear of outcome, which says, oh my God, Ross, what if you go through all this and the outcome isn't what you want? You've got to acknowledge those fears and do it anyway. It's difficult, but yeah, don't invest your life. My advice would be, don't invest your life building someone else's dream, and neglecting yours. Because there will be a day where you wake up, and I know you're only 52 now, Darren. There will be a day, God willing, touch wood, that you wake up and you're 92. And at that point, we have to be honest, you probably will not have the mobility. You'll be healthy, I hope, but you won't have the mobility and the energy and the drive that you have at 52 to do the thing that you want to do now. So again, don't hold back thinking that something's going to change without you making that change. And unfortunately for a lot of people have to wait for the pain of their situation to become so that the pain of change is less than the pain of staying in their situation before they do anything. And again, I don't want that to happen. I just want people to go, you know what? I deserve more. Fastest way to improve my life is to raise my standards, ask for more from the world, ask for more from other people, ask for more from my freaking self. Stop blaming other people for my lack of success and start blaming myself. In that sense, you gain all control back. If you're pointing at everyone else and thinking it's my agent's responsibility to get me work, it's the casting director's responsibility to get me work, you're giving away all your power. You're saying to yourself subconsciously, I need all of these stars to align before I am happy. When actually, you can make a lot of a lot of progress without any of that on your own. Rebecca says, in regards to voiceover, how many reels do you have or suggest to have? I'm recording some this weekend, so my advice is welcome. So, Rebecca, what you have and this is standard. I've been doing voiceover for 15 years. Super confident in this and the advice that I give out. You will have actually 4 voice reels. You will have one commercial reel, and the full reels are roughly like 2 minutes. So it might be like 4 commercials, 30 seconds of commercial, or roughly 90 seconds to 2 minutes. You'll have a commercial reel, which is adverts. You'll have a documentary reel, which is you narrating documentaries, and you'll have what's called a corporate reel, which is you ultimately doing corporate work, which could be anything from voicing someone's website, going, "Hi, welcome to HMRC. We deal with the tax. A little bit about us, blah blah blah." To maybe an instructional video on IKEA's website to show you how to build one of their wardrobes, or whatever it would be. That's classed as corporate work. So you'd have 3 full reels. They'd be 90 seconds long each, and then from those 3 reels, you would create a montage reel of maybe 30 seconds of each reel. So you'd have another reel that's a minute and a half, and it would be a montage of all the pieces from 10-15 seconds of those adverts, documentaries, and corporate pieces. And you would order them in such a way that it makes you sound really dynamic. So you'd start off with a high energy advert, then you would lead into maybe a serious medical piece from the corporate world, then you would go into maybe a somber charity commercial, then back up to something high energy corporate, then a documentary that's about, I did one called Hens Behaving Badly, which is like hens on a wild night out. Not actual hens, I'm talking about people getting married. So what you do is you make your range appear even bigger than it is by ordering these in such an order that they contrast. You can also have a 5th reel, which would be an animation reel for animation voices. Don't ever put any animation voices in your main reel on that montage reel. Your montage reel should always be corporates, commercials, and documentaries. Don't throw in stupid voices, accents, and impressions. It will screw you over because people listening will not know what you are. Have an accent reel and an animation reel, so people are aware you are going to be showing them all these different accents. Because if you started off your main reel, your montage reel, with a Scottish accent, and you ain't Scottish, then they only hear the first thing and they turn it off. I think I'm not looking for someone Scottish. So corporates, commercials, documentaries, and then a combined accent/animation reel. That will work and will get you work. Jay, hi Ross from the UK's best actor. Thanks, Jay. Jay's saying he's the best actor. He always says this. Jay, I believe in your son. The best. He's going to be. He's going to be one of the biggest actors ever, Jay. Bulletproof Actor has been awesome and helped make 2018 the best year of my life. An absolute bargain. Because the full program, he said, an absolute bargain at 280 quid. The full Bulletproof Actor program, there's 2 versions of it. There's a self-study version you do on your own. You get lifetime access to it. It's 199 quid. Or you get a 5-week live coaching program with myself plus the independent one for 279 quid. I appreciate for a lot of people that is a significant amount to invest. However, I would absolutely take a look at where you are investing money. I know I spend an ungodly amount on coffee. I'm so aware of it. £3.50 a cup. It's ridiculous how much I spend on coffee. I know when I was running away from my life, I was spending a lot of money going out at the weekend and buying rounds of tequilas. I was wasting a shitload of money on stuff that was never, ever going to do me any good. 279 quid is a significant amount of money for a lot of people. However, if I said, say you're 20 or say you're 30 or even 50, Darren, you've got 50 years left on the planet, £279 to live a better life for the next 50 years of your life, understand your mindset, get on top of your mental game, finally break through that bullshit that's been limiting you for so long in your life, that breakup you just couldn't deal with, that rejection you had at an audition that's fucking you up today, the stuff you were told at school that still lingers with you today, the insecurities around your looks, your this, your that, whatever it is for people. To get rid of that and live a better life for the rest of your life, my goodness me, it's an absolute freaking steal of the century. But yeah, the full program's not available to register for until the 8th of November, and it will close on the 15th. Sharon said, a friend of mine has just quit his 60 to 70 hour a week chef job because he's had enough. Good for him, Sharon. And I'm not telling everyone to jump out of work and quit it. That's not a good thing to do. You've got to transition out. I started building businesses on the side, finished work at 5. I worked from 6 o'clock in the evening until 2 in the morning building online businesses so that I could transition out of that day job. It took me about 6 months to do that, to a year, before I could, I wasn't making loads of money at all. I was like absolutely making the bare minimum I had to in order to leave that job. But yeah, don't just jump ship and go into nothing, but absolutely get out of that shit that's draining you, both as an actor and a human being, so you can focus on the thing you actually want to do in life. What about audiobook reel? Yeah, I mean, Sharon, you could have some parts of an audiobook on a corporate reel, or you know what, you can have a separate audiobook reel if you wanted, because I guess there's a bit of radio drama, a bit of acting involved with that. You could definitely do that. Audiobooks are a massive undertaking. I've never liked just personally never liked the ideas of narrating audiobooks, because you don't get in audiobook world. This is just for me in terms of efficiency and what I can earn as a regular voiceover artist that doesn't do audiobooks. Audiobooks, you don't get paid by the hour. Normal voiceover, you get paid by the hour in terms of turning up and being there. Normally, your basic studio fee is £200 an hour for just being there. In audiobook world, you get paid per finished hour of audio. So, I mean, in terms of, you can sit there for 3 hours recording, but after it's all been edited together, that might only come to 1 hour of finished audio. So for that 3 hours, you only get paid for 1 hour of finished audio. It's still a shitload more than you would get in a minimum wage job or a regular job. But for me, I've been very fortunate that I've got quite well established in voiceover, and I can spend my time more efficiently doing commercials and other corporate stuff. And also, audiobooks can sometimes be 16 hours long of finished audio, so they might take you 32 hours to do. When you look at actually, getting paid 16 hours times whatever amount it would be, maybe 90, £100, it's very, very good money, and people love it. If you love reading, do it. But for me, it's just, I respect people who do it, because it requires a shitload of concentration. It's hard work. Believe me, people think voiceover, oh, what are you doing there? You're just sitting there reading. You are, but it is so mentally taxing. And when you're doing voiceovers for audiobooks, you've got to do all the voices as well. So there'll be characters in there. And, people love that. Actors love that, because they get to play loads of different characters. But to remember the voice for each character and be consistent for 16 hours, huge task. So I doff my cap to anybody who does audiobooks, because it's an incredible skill, an incredibly difficult job. I respect you so much. It just isn't for me. Gary Thomas says, love the VIP Bulletproof Actor. Gary's done it twice. Gary's been through the program twice, Gary. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. So Sharon says, not so lucrative. I do some radio commercials and done some student stuff, but would love to do more. It depends what other work you're doing. You know what, Sharon? Take me back to that minimum wage job in the Trafford Centre. I would snap your hand off to do audiobooks. I really, really would. And there might come a time in my life where work dries up and I go, right, I'm going to do some audiobooks. I would never write it off, never get above your station. Right now, I'm incredibly fortunate. I get to do other stuff that doesn't take quite as much time, so I can still focus on running the websites that I run and the vlogging and all the other stuff. But I would never write it off. I'd never say never, but right now, it's not as lucrative as some work, but it's still very lucrative if you're used to waiting in bars or shops and stuff as your job on the side as an actor. If you can get into audiobooks, change your life. Definitely. Rebecca says voiceover is taxing. It's a great job to do that. It's incredible. Thank my lucky stars I got into voiceover all those years ago. It is incredible. It really, really is. It takes a long time to get established. As it does your acting. The key to voiceover, Rebecca, and everyone who wants to get into voiceover, is not looking at it as something you do on the side. If actors say this to me sometimes, and it riles me a little bit, because like, Ross, I know you do a load of voiceover. I'd love to do a bit on the side. And I'm like, mate, that's why you'll never do any. You will never succeed in voiceover if you think it is something you do on the side. I commit just as much time and resources into my voiceover career as I do into my acting career, and at times in my life way more so, because at times it has been way more lucrative. It really has. You can be very well rewarded in voiceover if you get the right adverts, you get the right job. I know people who literally this year have earned £25,000 for an hour session. That's very rare. It really is rare, but it happens. I was in my voiceover agents today. They were booking jobs for a New Zealand actor who had 1 hour at 10 grand. It's realistic, it's rare, but it happens. And you don't deserve to have jobs like that if you're looking at it as something you do on the side, because that's not how you should look at it. You should be respectful of it and grateful for it, and it's incredible, but it requires work. It definitely does. So there'll be people on here who want to get established in acting first and want to give it their all in that first before they then have the resources to give it their all in something else. And choice is yours. Sharon said, acting is my only job. There you go, Sharon. Maybe you want to stick with acting for a little bit. But voiceover is an incredible industry. Everyone's lovely in it. Honestly, they're so nice, and you get to do it with a coffee in your hand. Honestly, I was just done 78 episodes of a new CBeebies animation, and it was such a joy because literally we just went in, drank coffee, and recorded this new kids show. I think it's going to be the next big thing. It's called Tinpo. It's out in January 2019. I play Tinpo. He's a little character. Please watch it. Please go out and buy the cuddly toys. Buy the computer games. Let's make it. Let's make it the biggest thing ever, because I could do with a 4th series of it. So yeah, do check that out. Gary says my voice wasn't so great when I recorded it. What's that, Gary? A voice reel or something? Practice, mate. Practice. Bulletproof Actor you're talking about? Or I don't know. But if you voiceover wise, yeah, practice. I literally for years would practice voiceover walking down the street. I would read bus signs. I would read billboards. I would read a newspaper when I'm sat on the train. I would be sat on the toilet, too much information, and I'd reach for a bottle of shampoo and read the back of the shampoo bottle like it was an advert. I never stopped practicing because I realised just how life-changing the industry could be if I committed myself to it, and it was. So yeah, it's all about practice. Sharon said she'd love to do kids show voiceover. It's so fun, Sharon. Honestly, it's great. Lisa just created a list on Twitter and added all the CDs. Didn't even know lists were a thing. Lee, aren't you glad you joined the broadcast tonight? Lists are powerful, man, because it separates out all the noise. If you're following, like I say, actors are supportive of each other, and I love it. But if you're following 3,000 actors, how the hell are you gonna differentiate between the noise on Twitter and the stuff you actually need to pay attention to? Create lists, filter out the noise, definitely. Wendy says, I know a guy who does voiceover who was almost the voice of Siri. Wow, do you know the story behind Siri, Wendy, who ended up on every single iPhone in the world for a little while? He was bought out of his contract. So Siri was actually an app that's on iPhone now, everyone will know it, but initially it was an app from a very small company in Silicon Valley, and Apple bought, well, actually, before Apple bought the company, Siri was voiced by a guy for $500. He was bought out of it in perpetuity, signed to say he never would be paid for it again, $500. Apple bought the company, put it on over, I don't know, got 100 million iPhones. Had that been a job initially, we're talking life-changing cash in that. But he did it for $500 and then had to go and see his voice put on every phone in the world. Since then, it's a different voice. Apple did compensate him with some gifts, I think, some Macs and stuff like that, but nowhere near the money the guy should have got. Very interesting, though, isn't it? And that's down to your agents and negotiate fees like that. That's why I hate dealing with money. But they just didn't, obviously, no one knew Siri was going to be a thing and would be on every iPhone in the world. So, yeah, that would be an incredible job. I don't know who's got it now, whether it's a synthetic voice or what, but incredible. Gary said, try to do those examples I found online for voice reels. Yeah, man, we just got to practice, Gary. Honest to God. Because the thing is, it isn't, voicing isn't just reading. It really isn't. You've got to think of your audience. You've got to think of your pace. You've got to think of your pitch, your tone, something called musicality, which is how you'll hear, at the end of reads, how, adverts are always like, they'll start with a list. It'll be like, I do cost cutters adverts. And it'll be like, I don't know, we'll say, at the start, what were we saying today? I was doing adverts for them today, like, knickknacks, skips, and what was it? Butterkiss, popcorn, knickknacks, and skips, just £1.50. Hula hoops, just $1.59. And get these 4 Muller yogurts for just £1. That's like musicality. It goes da-da-da, up a little bit, down on the end of the list. Cost cutter, shop the way you live. It's all like, it's just practice, mate, because it isn't reading. People think it is. They go, oh, I've got a nice telephone voice. People have told me I've got a nice voice. It's technique, man. There's nothing extraordinary about my voice whatsoever. I just know how to use it for adverts because I've been doing it 15 years. So keep practicing, dude. You will get there, definitely. And Lee says his Twitter looks so clean. Honestly, everyone should start using Twitter lists. Definitely add me in a list. Don't shut me out. Put me in your list. Sharon said, I've just done a 4-week free training program on doing voiceover. Yeah, some great programs out there. There's some inexpensive ones as well. Check out gravyforthebrain.com. Hugh Edwards and Peter Dixon there, who's, Alexandra Buck. That Peter Dixon, he runs Gravy for the Brain. Incredibly successful voiceover artist. Really is legit. It's a decent course, gravyforthebrain.com. It's about 39 quid a month though, so it's not cheap. But again, it's investment in yourself. If you're not investing in yourself, what are you doing? If we are not growing as individuals, like anything in the world, if we're not growing, we are dying. Seriously, I don't think anybody can say stagnant. Don't believe in it. If a plant isn't growing, it's dying. If your relationships aren't growing, they are dying. If your career isn't growing, it is dying. If you're not investing in yourself and you are not growing as a person, you are dying. You've got to invest in yourselves. Where do you have a link, says Darren? Just search Gravy for the Brain, for Gravy for the Brain. Or Sharon, if you want to post a link to the free one, I think people are asking about that. Post a link in the comments to your free voiceover course. That would be interesting to see who was doing that one. But yeah, it's all about, honestly, guys, it's all about looking for your next level. That's what these Bulletproof Actor videos are all about. It's all about, like, realizing that no matter how successful you are, look at that video there I've got on your screen now. It says your next level, video 1. That's identifying what your next level is for you. I don't care if you're a millionaire, a billionaire, you've got a next level to go to. And the thing that is stopping you from getting there is yourself. It's your freaking mindset. It's the Confucius said, didn't he? You know, the great Chinese philosopher, the man who believes he can, the man who believes he can't are both right. Swear to God, because if you believe you can do something, what do? You take the action required to get the results that you want. And you say, see, I told you I could do that. I now believe I've got even more potential for next time. I'm going to believe I can achieve this next thing, and I'm going to take the action congruent with getting the result I want. If you don't believe you can do it, you take no action because you think it's pointless. You get shit results by default because you've taken no action. And then you say, see, I told you I couldn't do it, thus I will not try next time. And then you just, sit in a spiral of decline, hating your life, getting nowhere. And you're only here for such a short amount of time. Seriously. I say this all the time. I say it in Bulletproof Actor there. I was like, look, your DNA is so unique. It's never existed on this planet before. When you die, it will never exist again. That fact blows my mind. This, my arm here, the stuff this is made out of, so unique. It has never existed before. And it's the same for you. When you are gone, it will never exist again. Why are you freaking wasting it doing shit you hate? Ine says, Ross, an app for video editing. Can you recommend, please? So I use, depends what you want to edit on, Ine. If you want to edit on a computer, so do you have a PC or a Mac? If you want to start off on a Mac, if you've got a Mac, an Apple Mac, you can download a free piece of software called iMovie. Very good for just starting off on. If you want to get pro, get something called Final Cut X on a Mac. If you are editing on a PC, the industry standard really is something called Adobe Premiere. Adobe Premiere, Google it. Obviously, there's a learning curve to all of this, Ine, but I know you are looking for your next level, as we all are, and you're an action taker, Ine. You'll spend some time watching tutorials on YouTube on how to edit. I know you will. If you just want to edit a showreel and you're putting cuts in, cutting between scenes, take you an hour to learn how to do that. A lot of people will never do that because they don't want to put in the hour watching a free video tutorial on YouTube. But if you want to learn how to edit video, you don't have to pay for it. I swear to God, there are so many free tutorials on YouTube. Adobe Premiere, if you have a PC, you actually lease the software from Adobe, so you don't buy it outright. It's no longer thousands of pounds like it used to be. You can lease it for, I think if you just wanted a Premiere on its own, probably about 15 quid a month or something like that. And you can do it on a rolling basis as well, so you don't have to commit to a year or anything like that. You can go, right, I'm going to lease it for X amount of time. So yeah, Gary just said there, Adobe Premiere, you can pay monthly for it and then cancel. So yeah, definitely. So yeah, you're on Windows and you just want to mainly cut stuff. I mean, there's free ones out there, even like Windows Movie Maker or whatever replaced that. I've not had a PC for many years. I'm exclusively like Mac now. But yeah, if you want to, if you want full control and you want something that is industry standard and that's legit and is really going to get the job done beautifully, then check out Premiere. See if it's within your budget right now and get it. You can probably get a 30-day free trial of it. You normally can. 30-day free trial. Test it out. See if you get along with it. Download some tutorials. Watch some tutorials on YouTube for free. Anyone wants to learn how to do anything, just Google it. Free tutorials on YouTube and out there everywhere. And yeah, see how you get along. But it's pretty intuitive. It'll be overwhelming at first. You'll open it up and you'll go, holy shit, where do I begin? I don't see any of this stuff. Doesn't make any sense. What are all these little tools and these icons? It's pretty straightforward once you've been through like the basics. You can do it, and I know you can, definitely. So check it out. Right, it's just gone 10. So we're going to call it a day. Anyone got any more? Any last words, or forever hold your peace? It's been awesome hanging out with you, though, guys. I've missed you all. I know we only do this once a week now, but it's just because there's so much on with the vlog, and I'm doing loads of podcasts and stuff. But if I can do anything for you, please reach out. It takes me a while to get back to people on email, but ross@actsonthis.tv, I will get back to you, I promise. Yeah, please get these videos. Bulletproofactor.com. Go get these videos. If you want to, when you get access to them, you can scroll through them by the little thumbnails on the bottom. So the red one's activated now. Click on the white one here. That goes through to the white video, and then the black one here, this will be available tomorrow. And then this special announcement of when I open up registration for the full program will be available from the 8th of November. But even if you're like, you know what, mate, I ain't doing the full program, I don't want to do that, please go and just get the free videos, because this will change your life. I swear to God. And I know that sounds like such a massive claim. You're like, who are you to say that? It isn't me. I'm not saying this. These videos give information that have taken me 10 years to implement into my life, to learn. It's not, it's not my stuff. This is science-backed stuff that people over hundreds of years have researched and carried out research into. I'm just curating that information and giving it out and showing you guys what I did to change my life. So I would love you to have it and make that difference in your own lives whilst you can. When he says thank you, good night, thank you, Wendy. Get baking. Get yourself up for Christmas to Manchester. Send us some of those cookies. Sharon says, thanks, Ross. Great advice yet again. My absolute pleasure. Thank you, Renee. Thanks for being here. Leah, thank you for being here. Lee, Ross just got my showreel put together. Would you mind giving me feedback if I send it you? Definitely. You know what, Lee? Don't just get mine, though. Please post it in the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Acts on this TV. You're probably in it right now. Let us all chip in. I will absolutely throw my 2 cents into the hat. Chris Stone, who's in the group, incredible showreel producer, will throw his 2 cents in as well. And we all will. We've got to support each other, guys. That's what I was talking to Julie about today. Like, you're nothing without, like, other people. Acting can be really lonely sometimes. It can be isolating. It can feel like it's you against the world. People get jealous so easily of other people's success. And it's bullshit. It's a recipe for you failing. Let's support each other. You don't know, you support Lee, you write some nice comments in his show, you'll give him constructive feedback. He gets into a position in his life down the line where he's doing a job and they're looking for someone else to do a job with him. And he's like, oh, I remember when Sharon, gave me all that awesome advice on my showreel that led me to actually getting seen for this job. I'm going to put Sharon forward for this. Like, honestly, you don't do things because, like, you want to use people and get stuff out of them in the future, but you never know, like, where people are going to end up and what they can do for you in return if you just you deploy kindness. You know what? Let's just be freaking kind. It's magic. Seriously, magical things will happen in your life when you are just a little bit kinder. So do that, Lee. Appreciate you, mate. Definitely. I've done these free videos and we'll do them again, says Sharon. So useful. Yeah, I put them out a couple of times before, Sharon, but I just put them out for 7 days a year. This will be the last time they go out in this format, actually. Now I'm in the new apartment, or will be very soon. I'm going to film them all again and add in some stuff next year that that I think will be even more valuable as well. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you being here. I'll get mine in there as soon as I get it back from Chris. So Sharon, that's your showreel. Yeah, put that in the group as well. And thank you all for being here. Do appreciate you. I'm just going to close the window on Facebook. Cannot see your comments now, unfortunately, guys. Sorry about that. But I'm just getting myself over to the Facebook page. Facebook, I say this all the time. I've been saying this for 2 years, doing live broadcasts. Facebook needs to make it easier, more elegant for you to end live broadcasts, because I go and watch it and get all the comments, and I've got to go right in the back end to actually end the broadcast. But I'm nearly there. Let's see if that's coming up. So yeah, get over to bulletproofactor.com. Get over to youtube.com/watch Ross, watch the vlog. Get over to actsonthis.tv, and if you've not got your premium membership, it's only £10 a month. Everyone can afford that. I know you can. If you're telling me you can't, you're wasting money on shit. You definitely can. It's £2.50 a week, or if you pay it up front for a year, it's £90. It's £7.50 a month. So it's less than £2.50 a week. But you will just find information on there that seriously will change the game for you. I've got Nick's podcast on there right now, plus a shitload more, biggest casting directors in the industry. Plus Julie's will go on Monday. I've got some incredible guests lined up for Christmas as well, before Christmas. So loads of stuff going on, and bulletproofactor.com, go claim those free videos. If I can do anything for you, please reach out, post in the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Act on this TV, and I'll be back next Monday. I've got a few things on next week, actually. Next Monday, I'm going to do a broadcast. Next Tuesday night, I'm going to do a webinar on Bulletproof Actor, like a Q&A. Next Wednesday, I'm going to do a seminar thing online. I've got like 3 broadcasts, one after the other next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll post details of those in the Facebook group, and if you claim the videos at bulletproofactor.com, you'll get email updates as well. So thank you for being here. Massively appreciate you all. Until next time, bye for now.